Hello! In this video tutorial I would like to tell you how to set up a team project to work in a Atlas 8 Windows team. So here you see an overview of the process. The project administrator is setting up the project, creates a project bundle file and distributes it to all team members. Once they're done working, they export their project, send it to the project administrator or make it available, and she or he merges the project and distributes a master file to all team members. So what is important if you set up the project, that the project administrator is adding the documents to the project. So I'm just opening the document manager and I have added 4 documents to the project. So this is just a project about fruits, and as you see here, I'm the owner of these documents because I have been adding them to the project and also using Susanne as login name. And you find it here under support, and this is likely to change. So right now the user management options here are under support, and if you go to user management, I have here an Atlas, a user called Atlas and a user called Susanne. So here you can also now create new users, and let me just create 2 new users, coder 1 and coder 2 for this project. And this user now, Susanne, is the project administrator. And as I have been creating these users, I'm the owner of them. So the users are now carried along with the project if I give it to my 2 coders, coder 1 and 2. Important is that the project administrator sets up everything that is common for the team project. So let's assume I want coder 1 coding these 2 documents, and I want coder 2 coding these 2 documents. I may create some document groups. This is what I've just did, so everybody kind of already knows what to code. My documents actually don't start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I should correct this now. I do this under utilities, renumber documents, because I've been adding some other documents before and said, well, no, I don't want those for the project. So this could also happen. If I enter the documents, they receive kind of a unique ID. They get a unique ID. And this is important when you work in a team, because if my coder 1 would have set up the documents in his or her project, these documents would get a different ID. And Atlas merges on the basis of IDs and not on the basis of document names, in order to really assure that the documents are the same. Same with the codes. So if I create a set of codes here to start out with, then and if I want my coders to use these codes, I need to set them up in the master project. If now one of the coder adds a code color blue, then that's fine, because the color blue doesn't exist yet. If coder 2 also adds color blue, then we will end up with like 2 codes blue when we merge. It always goes by ID. So don't tell your coders, this is your code list, please enter them in your project. This needs to be transferred with the master project. So this is also how I named my project, master, and then my project fruits, and it was created on March 8th in 2017. So now I want to give these projects to my coders. So I need to export it. So I go to the backdrop and say export project, and it's exported in form of a bundle file. So the bundle includes everything that project needs. So I use this name here and I don't change it, so my coders know this is a master project created in March, and I don't have to add anything else. This is what the coders need to be doing. So this file is now just 102 KB, so it is easy to send via email, but I also could put this project on a server or make it available via a cloud drive, whatever, so my team members can pick it up. So now I'm switching roles and pretend I'm coder 1. Yeah, so I'm as coder 1, opened this project now, and now I need to rename, so my project administrator knows later on where which project is coming from. So in order to rename a project, I need to close it. Can't rename a project that is opened, and there it is now. So I can rename, and this is now coder 1 project. I sort of take away the master and add the name, initial, whatever, of the person who's now, I could call it now coder 1. So now it is renamed, so I can open it. And now I can work as coder 1, but I should not forget now to switch user and log in as coder 1. As you see now, the authors that the project administrator has set up, they are transferred with the project. If you were familiar with the older version, that was not the case. There now the project administrator can set up the user accounts, and then don't forget to ask your coders then to log in under their respective name. So as there are document groups for the particular coders, I can now pick up as coder 1 on the documents I'm supposed to code, and I can begin the coding. So now some time has passed and coder 1 has done some work, coder 2 has done some work, and also I as the project administrator have done some work. Now it's time to merge these projects. Before I show you in the software how to actually do the merge, I would like to walk you through some general principles. So the general rule is that everything that is the same will be merged and everything that is different will be added. So let's look at this example here now. We have 2 projects here, and document 3 is available in both projects, and 1 and 2 and 4 are different documents. So we end up with a merged project that contains documents 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now looking at a project that has codes that have no comments, and then in the import project a person has added comments to one or multiple codes. So in the merged project we will end up with commented codes because the comments are different as compared to the master project, and then those will be added to the project. So what happens now if both codes, or the same code, basically has a different comment in the master and the import project? Then we do have a conflict. Then you need to decide what should happen. If you want to keep everything that is in the master project, then it means keep local changes. And the other option is to say, no, I want to keep everything that is in the import project, and then you select overwrite all local changes. So you always need to decide in your mind what's your master project and what is your import project and which project should win. In terms of the keep local changes and override option, it's the project that is first opened, that is the master, and the one that you merge into is the import project. So here we have a situation where something was deleted. So if the project administrator is deleting code A, B, C, in the master project. But these codes still exist in the import project, then they will be added. So in the merge project you end up again with codes ABC. This means if you want to clean up a project, then this needs to be done in the merged version of the project and not in two versions that people work on at the same time. So I can start out with my original master project. We could do that. The other option I have is I import Code 1's project first, and then I save as. So we don't want to overwrite an existing project if something went wrong with the merging, so we can actually start again from scratch. If I do a save as, this creates automatically a copy of the project. So it is the master file again, and now it's April 2nd, and this is our merge 1. So I double check that I'm also logged in here under Susanne. Yeah, I couldn't use Susanne, so that's fine. I could also give myself different roles as admin, and then if I'm also coding, which often will of course be the case, that people, well, the project admin is also a person coding the data. So if we just kind of take a quick look, so Code 1 has actually applied 6 codes to the first document. That's how far it goes. So we just keep it simple here for now. And then I also double check whether they are Coder maybe has added some new document code. So I see there's 3 codes about a texture code and some vitamin codes that has been added by Code 1. So it's always good to kind of get a feeling what has been done before you merge. So you can check the merge project for plausibility. So Code 2 has been doing some work on document 3, and if I open the code manager, if I go through, then I see that Code 2 has added a general code vitamin and has applied it 2 times. So now I can close this project as I just open it for double checking. So now I can start the merge procedure, go to the backdrop, click on file and merge. And now I could have also merged the bundle, but as we already have been looking at the project to check for to see what the coder has been doing. Here is the project of Code 2, so I now merge the project and not the bundle file. So I get a validation report, and there are no merge conflicts because Code 1 and Code 2 have been coding different documents. So there's no merge conflicts, so I can just happily proceed with merge. And now check for plausibility. So we have the master project, the imported project. We still have 4 documents. Then we have some more codes because the coders have been adding new codes. We have more quotations, so we all expect that. So there used to be a memo. So all of these were from the master project, and all of that has not changed, apart from there have been some additional codes and some additional quotations because I've done some coding. So that's fine. I can save this merge report or print it for future reference. The merged projects, we see that document 1 and document 3 has been coded by code 1 and code 2. And if we check our code system, then we also see the codes added by code 1 and 2. And as a project admin, I can now decide what to do with those codes. And you could also agree that maybe those new codes, they don't get a color yet. So it's easy for the project administrator also to spot, okay, all those codes without a color, they are new, and then the project administrator can do some sorting and editing on the project. So now Susanna also has been doing some work. So here on purpose I built in some conflicts, so you see how conflicts are solved. And I took the same quotations that code 2 already had and renamed some of them, and also here I added a comment so that there actually is a conflict to solve. I didn't add any new codes. So now let me merge this project into the existing one. So now I'll go and start the merge procedure again. I merge the project because it's already unbundled. So now I get a merge conflict. There's a conflict here on the name, and on the name basically, and then there has a comment has been added. So now I can decide whether I keep whatever's already in the merge project, override that. And as I want my changes to override what's already coming from code 1 and 2, I click on top here the override option. So then actually my renamed quotations will be in the new master project and my comment is going to be added. Now I merge this. We still have the 16 codes, no changes here, same quotations, and so on as we had before. But what we have now in the master project is that the quotation that I've renamed, and also these two, they're coming from my project and override what was there before because I selected the override option. If I had done the merge the other way around, starting with my project and merging in my project code 1 or 2, the code 1 or code 2 project, then I would have selected keep because I want my changes to keep. So it's always depending also which project you merge into which one, which option you select keep or override. Yeah, so currently you cannot check for each single object, it's an either or. Yeah, so you decide which project should win and which changes should be kept.